Hey y'all, happy Saturday. I had this thought. I've got a couple of people who jump on board with the Craft Your Story program. And I wanted to talk to you guys about why even coaching would be recommended. And so what I wanted to get into is I was thinking about this a lot because on my own, it's been somewhat of a struggle for me over the years, getting full-time into the industry in 2015. Into health and fitness change and that kind of thing. It's been somewhat of a struggle for me to really break things down to a point where there's like a strategy, right? Like how is it that Jacqueline and I, since it's been like 16 plus years since I personally have been obsessed with this kind of stuff, how do we break it down for you guys so you can begin to understand the mindset behind being healthy, pursuing health, growing, forcing yourself to work out or eat healthy when you don't quote unquote feel like it, etc. And I think this started out for me back when I had coaching for sports. Okay, so growing up, and those of you who are former athletes, you're going to understand about what I'm about to say. So when you join sports, okay, when you are involved at a high level in athletics, you have a coach there to be able to essentially structure your life, okay? Structure your growth. Now, let's say high school football, okay? Going back all the way back to high school for me, which was a little over 10 years ago. I graduated in 2009, and when I had a coach, they would set up practices, meetings, workouts, and that kind of thing. All that helped me get really, really strong, really fit. You guys, if you've been in high school sports, especially in a serious football program, you understand that. But it wasn't optional, okay? It wasn't optional. And so I started thinking about that. How did that form my ability here? I'm trying to set this up. How did that form my long-term ability to stay healthy? What did those coaches do for me? And how does that apply to what you guys are doing? Because in a way, it's somewhat difficult to relate back to that. And here's what I'm talking about. It was just something we did. You didn't even think twice. When would you ever miss practice? When would you ever miss a lifting session? When would you ever miss, there was a competition aspect to it, but there's an expectation within the program that you did it. Now that's different because now, and for years, I've had people paying me money to help them get healthy, to help them get fit, to help them feel sexy again, to help them find themselves again, to help them feel better. And that's different than I didn't pay my coach, but I was forced to go to all these things, workouts, etc. Okay, so I technically got really strong and really fit, way back when in middle school and high school without paying any coaches. And so why does it make a difference now for you to pay a coach to learn from that coach and do what that coach is asking you to do, as opposed to it's just a different dynamic? Somebody's not going to come in here and not pay me, and then I literally force them to do everything that I need them to do. We all know it doesn't work like that. And from being in the industry full time for 4 years, I also know that when people don't pay money, they're just not going to pay attention. And so that's where the pricing, that's where paying for services comes into play, okay? Coaches provide a psychological edge for clients because the more you pay, the more you pay attention. And now paying money, that's a relative thing, right? Because somebody could be paying $1,000 a month to work with me for personal training sessions. And maybe that they're really having a tough time affording that, but they're doing everything they can to make it work, and they just barely make it work because maybe they make 60 grand a year. And so that's a huge investment on their end. That same $1,000 a month you could take and say if somebody makes $1 million a year, okay, that's not that much of an investment because their income is $83,000 a month. And so $1,000 a month to work with me, that's why I say it's relative, okay? It's not like an absolute thing. But make no mistake, one of the first things that a coach can do for you is help you get that psychological edge that will push you over the edge to make sure you are listening to that coach, to make sure you are doing the things that that coach is asking of you, okay? Because what's super interesting to me that I've learned over the last 4 years is what I do is not teach people how to do lunges, and teach people how to eat healthy. What I do is behavior modification, it's behavior transformation, it's identity restoration, and it's identity transformation. Like, that's what we're working with. And so that's where I mean, trust me, like, I wish I could do this for free, but I obviously cannot feed my family if I do. Much less, I've learned this from working with people, trying to work with people for free. Literally every person I've tried to work with for free bails on me. They quit on me, they don't stick to it. And so there's a huge psychological edge there. And there's two other things, okay? That's the first thing. There's two other reasons why having a coach is so important, why it's been so important to me over the years. Now, those two other things are, hey, okay, how can I skip having to make all the same mistakes that the person who does it on their own has made? Because what you're able to do is get shortcuts by that coach because they already know how it works. Maybe they've already worked with a bunch of people just like you. Maybe they've already learned how to do it by themselves, and they've already learned how to teach others how to do that same thing. And so what you can do is you can take out those years and years and years it takes to ultimately get that same result. So the coaching would provide a shortcut. Okay, in terms of, hey, why coaching? Hey, it's to get shortcuts. One, it's so that you actually pay attention because you're investing your budget, you're investing your time into what you value. The second thing is, it's okay, like, how can I get a shortcut? Because I don't want it to take me 15 years to get healthy. I want to shortcut that, and I want to be able to I only want it to be able to take like 1 year to lose that 80 pounds. And so that then I can really, get the results at a much quicker rate. Because if you do it all on your own, like, you're not going to get the same results. It's going to take longer because every mistake you make is going to push you back in terms of your results. And so getting a coach can help mitigate that. And then the third thing, why coaching? It's because you're too close to your own life. You think you eat pretty healthy. You would be astounded. Maybe you wouldn't be if you've been around this for a little bit of time, but you would be astounded at just how many people who come in here to see me tell me that they eat pretty healthy. And I'm literally telling you, like, I'm talking about people who are 100 pounds overweight will look me dead in the face and tell me with a straight face that they eat healthy, okay? Now, they're 100 pounds overweight, but they eat healthy. And it somehow that makes sense to them. And no matter which way you cut it, that does not make sense. You cannot eat properly, you cannot eat healthy and still be 100 pounds overweight. You just can't. There's no way possible, right? And so how do coaches come into play in this situation? How do coaches come into play when we're working with clients and they're too close to their own life and they think they're doing the workouts right and they think they're eating right, etc.? We are able to point out blind spots because I'm the same way in terms of working with coaches. Coaches are able to see things that you're not. Usually the things that you think are the problem are not the problem. And a coach is going to be able to explain to you what the real problems are. Most of you think you need to lose weight. And I know from working with over 600 people over the last 4 years, probably closer to 700, literally clients, working with clients over the last 4 years, even though most people come into me and tell me, hey, I want to lose weight. I need to lose weight. Here's what I need in order to get to point B. I know as a professional, and from having done this so many times, hundreds and hundreds of times, I know that that's actually not the real problem, okay? And so again, if you're watching this, you're in this Facebook group, it's called Your Body, Your Life, Your Craft. I'm committed to being able to tell you guys what it truly takes to make a change. Some of you may not want to hear this. Some of you just want to stay blind and maybe you just want to do your own little thing and act like you're working hard and act like you're doing the things that you need to do. But if anything, I want to be able to cut through the noise and tell you, like, hey, here's what I've found from working with so many people. Here's what I've found from doing this thing on my own. Here's what I've found from having 5 kids, a wife. How do I keep a happy family, unified family, plus keep a job and career, running a business? It's not like I'm working 40 hours a week. I'm working like 70, 80 plus hours a week while staying healthy, while staying fit, while not making excuses, et cetera, okay? And so that's the third thing, and the final thing I'll say for today is that we're able to point out blind spots for you, okay? Things that you can't see that we are gonna be able to see because we've done this so many times that we actually know how to address the underlying causes versus you just trying to dance around the symptoms the entire time. Like, that's something that I want to be able to do for my clients, and something that I can do is have hard conversations with clients so that they can at least know, right? Because if I don't tell them what, like, based upon my professional experience, like what I'm seeing and what it's going to truly take for them to make the progress, like, that's not actually helping them. That's just basically trying to make them feel better, okay, in the short term. And in the long run, it's not gonna change a dang thing. So all of y'all who are wondering, like, who the heck is this Cody guy? How does he make a living coaching? Like, what kind of value is there in coaching? Gosh, it should be easy just to do it all on your own. And I'm here to tell you that for probably 90+% of people, you're probably not gonna be able to do it on your own. And there's no reason you should feel like you have to do it on your own. That's like some weird pressure in the world of fitness that everybody thinks they should be able to do it because I think they think it's tied to your personal motivation or discipline. And so it's like a slap in the face if you're not able to do it on your own. But the problem is so many people, even if they do work out, are not making progress either. Okay, and so there's an aspect of working smarter and not harder, an aspect of not just treating the symptoms, but treating the underlying cause, okay? So thank you so much for tuning in. I just wanted to make this video real quick. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I have released 5 spots to my Craft Your Story pilot program. I've had some people interested. And so if you are interested at all, I'm looking for 5 people to be able to be a case study member in this program that I'm doing, okay? It's going to cover craft. It's going to be a deep dive. It's going to be working personally one-on-one with me. It's not this working one-on-one very closely with me. This is not usual. It's because you're going to be the first group to ever go through this program. And so even though it's worth like literally thousands of dollars, I'm going to be giving it to you at a fraction of the cost because I'm still in the final stages of finalizing everything in the program before releasing it in 2020. So if you want to be one of the first 5 people to go through this program, you're going to need to be somebody who's really serious. You're going to need to be somebody who's committed, who's willing and able to commit at least 30 to 40 minutes 4 times a week to be able to get done with the things in this program to help you feel better, probably lose 10 to 12 pounds by the time New Year comes, and ultimately start like reclaiming your identity, okay, and who you've been called to be. So I hope this video was helpful. I will talk to you all soon, and yeah, happy Saturday.